Much better clear, huge explosions and insane boss damage. Very easy to set up and fairly cheap as well. In this video I will show you how you can make your werewolf build a screen clearing monster. What's up guys, Pidget here. I improved the clear with a very simple mechanic that we was using last league as well, and that is the Armour Explosion. Now our herald can break armor. When you breaking the enemy's armor, it will explode as well, so we getting double explosion. The question is how we can break armor, because as you know armor break is only for physical damage. That is correct, but on the tree, luckily, we have access to extra physical damage notables. So like your damage, no matter what you're doing, you will gaining physical damage as extra. So your elemental damage is the bigger the extra damage will be. And we have right now only just 10%. It's not sounds like a lot, but it's more than enough to able to break the enemy armor, even with that much physical damage. When you're breaking the armor, it will cause an explosions because we're using the Armour Explosion support gem, and that is making a very huge explosions, because that is 30% of our basic attack damage. So that is our shred damage, by the way, because that is our basic attack, right? And right now my build has over 100k tooltip on that one. 30% of that damage will transition to the explosion damage, so that is a very significant damage upgrade on the clearing side. And don't worry, this will be not expensive or anything. You only need to change like maybe 8 or 10 passive point on the tree, because we improving the area effect as well significantly. We have like 70% increased area from the tree and from the support gems. So this is how our explosions can be that big, as you can see when I killing a pack or multiple packs with one single attack. Because today we focusing on the how you can improve your clear, so I will start with the passive skill tree, because I made significant changes to the passive tree. As you can see here, we dropped this whole section, although sadly we was needed to lower down a little bit or very huge energy shield pool, so we lost like 1k energy shield, but it's worth very big time guys, because the clear now is just insane and so satisfying. So what we changed, we unspec'd the reinforced barrier and the bonded precision, and we took once again the bastion of the fortress and the radial force. This is this little nodes also giving us increased area, and also we taking even more area effect here, as you can see here, primer growth, and also when we killing enemies we were gaining 50% increased area effect as well, and also we gaining a lot of extra melee damage at close range. And also I get a new javel as well, that is also improving a tiny bit the area effect, but it's not significant, so it's not an insane increase, but you know, it's a little bit. And also because of that you can also just start stacking on the other javels as well, area effect, if you want, because that is because we have like 3 extra javel stat, so that is additional like 15-18% increased area effect. And so now the most important part of this tree, why we can even break armor, that is the answer, the dangerous blossom. This is it. Gain 10% of damage as extra physical damage. Every single ability that we have gaining extra physical damage. So we dealing physical damage here, as you can see here, 1.7k. On the Herald of Ice is also dealing 1.6k physical damage, and also even the pounds dealing a lot of physical damage. So there is so many things. Even the Lunar Blessing is dealing the Moonbeam part physical damage here, as you can see here. So this is the key. This is how you can break armor as well. And also I changed guys here, so we was using the piercing claw, but I realized this is not a smart, because we have this node, the heavy frost, increase freeze build up, and also hits ignores non-negative elemental resistance of frozen enemies. We literally freezing every single time enemies. We don't need any sort of penetration source, so I was taking here the increased physical damage and also even more physical damage, because that is, you know, increasing a little bit of our Herald of Ice armor breaking potential, and also the shred as well, because shred is still physical damage main part, right? So that is also improving your single target as well at the same time. And now the gems, because the gems is also very important. So what and how you can armor break. So you need to change a lot of things in your Herald of Ice, and also you need a 6 link for this one, as you can see here. So we were using the code document, that is not new at all. And we using armor break 3. Break armor equal 20% of physical damage dealt by support skill. This is not sounds like too much, right? Because 1.6k is not, you know, too big of a deal, so you're breaking like 300 armor. But here it comes, the next one, Uruk Smelting. Support skill break 70% more armor. That is a significant increase. So we would break 320, for instance, almost 700, 800 armor every single time when our Herald of Ice proccing, and that is most of the time more than the monster armor, because the white monsters doesn't have that much armor, right? And this is how or improving the clear Armour Explosion. Support skill trigger an explosion when they fully break an enemy armor, and the explosion is scaling with your default attack damage 30%. So this is our shred, right? Because this is our default attack. So we have 126k tooltip currently in my setup, which is kind of insane in my opinion. And you getting 30% of this one. And although still once again, guys, when you're using your Lunar Blessing, you have all of our buff your up. You can see here my damage is just ramping even further, so we can easily deal insane amount of damage with our Armour Explosion and just kill. Look at this, almost 200k tooltip on this one. So like Armour Explosion is dealing like 60k damage, and that is significant, right? That is insane. And now the numbers, guys. So on the Herald of Ice, I have 2.7 meter explosion radius. That is a very huge. This is like that much. This is that big. Okay, so one single explosion is that big of an explosion. A lot of extra damage, right, by clearing. And I improved that buff uptime, and also I improved the how much damage we getting as extra. So on the pounds, I linked 2 new support gem. One is the Blazing Critical, that is granting you 50% of damage as extra fire damage for 5 seconds. That is additional damage. And also Ice Bite 2. Because this Ice Bite 2 is stacking with our Bathar Vengeance, right? So we getting like 69% extra cold from here, and also 30% here, so literally 99% extra cold, plus 50% extra, you know, from this one, and also the Lunar Blessing granting us 73% extra, so we running around more than 220% extra damage by just clearing, just pressing one single button, and you getting all of this very juicy stuff, and also the freezing mark as well on top of that. So 250% extra damage by clearing. So that is insane, and it improves your clear significantly, and it's making your build very satisfying to play. And also I added to the Lunar Blessing new supports as well, because they changed how the Lunar Blessing works. Now it's a Warcry, and we don't need anymore the second wind support. So we're using Cooldown Recovery 2, Elemental Armament 2, Frozen Spite. So when this ability killing frozen targets, because it will kill frozen targets, it will trigger Ice Fragments, which is literally or Ice Fragments from the Shred ability, but this is deals percentage life damage as cold, which is maybe can be boosted by your cold damage and all of our multipliers and increases. I don't know yet, but the thing is, this is alone, it's kinda insane, and this is helping to clear out the rare monsters, because the white monsters doesn't have any sort of chance against the Herald of Ice and the Armour Explosion at the same time. And we using here prolonged duration and cold attunement once again. So right now the Lunar Blessing is working like this. You can see here now the cooldown is starting immediately when you're using it, and you have 100% uptime thanks to our very high rage count, because the more rage you have, the more duration you will have. And you can see here the Lunar Blessing is already back up, and we still have Lunar Blessing up on ourselves, and you can do this by mapping very easily or on a boss fight. And now I changed a very little bit up my items. I just only changed my omelet. I get a very insane omelet, as you can see here. This is giving me a tons of energy shield, and also it giving me crit damage bonus +3 to level of all projectile skills. Why projectile skills, you asking? The shred has projectile tag, so the overall damage, as you can see here, level 28 is going up, and also you're dealing much more damage with this amulet without that one. So obviously the +3 to melee skills would be insane, but I was not able to get that one. I was just kinda unlucky to get the projectile skill, but honestly already the damage is insane in my opinion. This AoE setup is just insane. You can just blow up almost the full abyss with one single attack without worrying you getting overwhelmed or any, literally deleting the whole packs or almost the entire screen with one single attack. It's kinda insane, and also pretty cheap, because once again the Uruk smelting is costing like 4 exalted, 5 maybe, and also a 6 link, right? But the 6 links at this point is not that expensive, and basically you can just, even if you're not that stage at the build, you can just easily just add to your clear setup this one and be happy about it, because this will make you happy, because this is insanely strong and satisfying to see, and also helping a lot on the danced areas, especially in Breach and Abyss. Till then guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this update video about my AoE clear Werewolf CI Oracle Tank Druid. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pridget2. Thanks for watching, I was Pridget, see you next time.